Hey, it's Allison Lee. I am back. I took a little bit of a break, a lot of a break. I actually released my episodes while I was on maternity leave, and then I decided I wanted a break, especially with everything that was going on with my baby at that time, and I just wanted to focus on being present with the kids, and this being my second kid. You know, if you're a mom or a parent, having two kids is a whole nother game. So I am back now, and I have some really fun episodes coming out for you with some guests that I am so excited to speak with. This first episode back, though, is just me candidly on my phone, and I just wanted to record because I just had to break the pattern of not doing it and start doing the recordings and get back on this show. So this is the first episode coming back. I have so much I want to talk to you about in terms of even my pregnancy, what life was like after, and all of that, and how that relates to all the things that come up being a child of immigrant parents and then having my own kids, being in the sandwich generation. So I have so much I want to share, so please subscribe, follow, and take a listen to this episode. Let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover. I have some pending that I owe to some of my Instagram followers and my email community. If you hadn't already, join my Adults with Immigrant Parents email community. I send out an email to you weekly with tips and tools and different stories that could be relatable to your experience. And that is the best way to send me any questions or comments that you want to have addressed on the podcast or in the email. And you can do that by clicking on the link below and join me in my weekly email. All right, without further ado, here is the first episode back.
Do you struggle with perfectionism, wanting things to be perfect, knowing things ahead of time, having things all planned out so that you are prepared, organized, and efficient with your time? If that is you as an adult with immigrant parents, I just want to say that that's absolutely normal. It's very typical for a lot of adults with immigrant parents to want to have as much information as possible, be prepared, be organized, and have like this type A type of personality or characteristics around doing things, because you kind of have to. Growing up with immigrant parents, there's always an unexpected letter, an unexpected request, question, or something that is like either really pressing or can be pressing or seems pressing but it's not. And the pressure is on the child, the young adult, the adult who can read and do the resource and have the gift and the pressures and the burdens and the privilege of having the knowledge and information to resolve that issue better than the parents or the family members or whoever it is, right? And with that gift and with that privilege and with that knowledge comes a lot of responsibility. When you're able to do things for others or help others, there is a lot of responsibility, and especially if you've done it as a young person up until adulthood, that weight gets carried with you, and then the need to be prepared, the need to be organized, the desire to have things set up in advance is really, really prominent, because we want to have as much control as possible. You want as much control as possible before you do something, just so that you feel prepared. The worst thing for me is when I come in and I feel like I'm prepared and I go and there's like a question or something I didn't prepare for, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to ruin this task that I need to do, when usually it doesn't. But our brains jump that far because we're so hypervigilant, we're so worried, we're so organized, and try to be as prepared as possible. Is that you too? And if it is, I really, really hope that you could provide yourself with some validation and comfort, and just like hug yourself and calm yourself down and really acknowledge all that you've been able to do. And whether or not something gets resolved, you could, either ask for more time, or the problem will most likely get resolved. And I'm bringing this up now because I know this is not a parallel, like a apples to apples comparison, but even with this podcast, I've been wanting to record, but I haven't had time, so I'm using this because I know this mic is good. I don't have time to be in my office space to record, and that's been hard for me to want to record, but hey, I can show up not perfect, right? I've done that before with my very first videos where I used my iPhone, I turned it around, I used this app, and the setting on it had the grid lines, and I thought it was the same thing as the iPhone where you have the grid lines when you take a picture, so it tells you when you're centered and all that. And then I thought that it's just for me, but it came out on the video. But instead of thinking, one, I need to re-record, two, let's not put this out there, I felt like the content I recorded was good at that time, and I wanted to just do it because the vision, the goal of helping, and the goal of putting this stuff out here to, one, validate anyone's feelings, like provide any source of support for anyone who's listening, and just doing something I've been wanting to do and just put it out there imperfectly was better than not doing it. And I hope that you can kind of think about, is there something for you that you've been putting off on a more fun, personal, joyful level that you could just do without it needing to be so organized, so perfect, so put together? Because it's also just really important to do what you want to do, especially as adults with immigrant parents who tend to put their needs in the back burner, right? I've had episodes about that where we tend to sacrifice our needs for others, and then we don't do the things that we want to do because we don't have time at the end of the day. We're feeling so burnt out, we're feeling so tired from caring about other people and just doing daily life things that there's no time. So especially for wanting to show up in a perfect way or as best as we can, we might put things off that we actually really want to do. And I really want to encourage you to, sure, do the best that you can, but really within the environments that you have, right? Like right now I'm recording on my phone with this mic, and I really just want to have this out there and talk to you all and share with you the power of just showing up and not putting the pressure on yourself to be perfect, and to just try and do things for yourself as well. And I think that message is more important. So what can you do that will, take care of yourself or nourish you and bring you a little bit of joy that is really important to you, and not expect yourself to show up perfectly. Something else that I wanted to share was the first couple of episodes that I have put out. So I was pregnant at that time with my second, and I didn't mention it on the podcast, but listening back, maybe you can probably tell, or maybe you can tell I'm a little bit more breathy. I run out of breath and I'm talking like this, even though I'm not purposefully doing it, it's growing a baby. And I did that imperfectly too. I was just like, hey, I have time now. When the baby comes, I may not have time, case in point. And I just wanted to do it. So, I wasn't going to re-record the things that I messed up on with the camera, or, not put it out there, because I wanted it out there. I want to talk to you all. I want to connect with this community, and I want to find ways to support adults with immigrant parents. And a podcast, it was one of my dream goals that I have had. So I did it. And now and I actually started releasing the episodes after I had my baby. So she was a couple months when I started releasing the episodes and editing them, which, looking back, I was like, why did I do this to myself, right? Like, was this the immigrant child gotta stay busy syndrome, where I was like, gotta make use of this time off, my time off when I was recovering, when I was just adapting to having 2 kids and all of that? So in a way, I was like, what was I thinking? But in some other ways, because of some concerns and things that came up for the baby, it was a little bit of a nice distraction, I'm not gonna lie. But looking back, I wonder how much of this is just my busybody kind of reactions and wanting to make most of the time. And if you're interested in hearing about some of the birth stuff, this time around it was a little bit of a doozy, and a lot of stuff came up that I can connect back to how to empower you when you come to medical decisions and challenges with providers and things like that, if you're interested. So let me know. But yeah, anyway, I released the podcast when I was on leave, and it was really fun, like putting out episodes. So I really want to get into that. And another thing that I am working on is also trying to find ways to get more help in terms of not doing everything on my own, which is also something I personally have to work on as an adult with immigrant parents. There's this idea that I have to do everything myself and, you know, just really power through and struggle. So anyway, but the point is, show up, even if it's not quote unquote perfect. When you do show up and you're doing the best that you can for yourself, for your parents, for your family members, it's already the best that you can. And I hope that you give yourself that acknowledgement, right? Even if it's not perfect. I did the best I could at that moment, right? Listen to my affirmations if you need it to help quiet that inner critic, and really acknowledge that, like, hey, I'm still helping. I don't have to help perfectly. And how does that even look like? How am I supposed to know everything that everyone needs if that information is not provided? And then if, you know, you happen to have things not work out, just know that you can always ask for an extension, ask for more time, ask for more support, and that should usually work out. So yeah, do that, and kind of thinking more about what you want to do for yourself. Is there something that's fun, something that's sounds like really enjoyable that you've been putting off that you want to do, whether it's just reading a book. I really want to get back into reading. Sure, I don't have time because I have a newborn and a toddler, and I'm trying to run businesses and stuff like that, and I want to do this podcast. Sure, I don't have time, and I want to be present with my family, but I don't have to be reading 24/7. I don't have to finish a book in 2 days, or 3 days, a week even. I can finish it in a month, 2 months, but I just want to do more of it. How can we incorporate it and make it easy, right? Reading on my phone, although it hurt my eyes and I really don't prefer it, was the easiest way for me to read. So maybe I need to do that, right? Maybe I don't hold a book around and try to find it every time, or how do I flip the page with a newborn in my hands, right? So make things easier for you to do, and find out what you really liked to do when you were younger, and tap more into that. Like, what brought you joy back then, right? For me, it was reading. So I'll leave you with that. Find something that you enjoy, do more of it, do it in a way that makes it easy for you to do. Don't make it too complicated, and don't expect yourself to finish things too quickly if you're first starting out. But do something you enjoy. Do it imperfectly, and I'll catch you on the next episode. And let me know if there's any topics you want me to cover. Join my email list for weekly updates and tips and tools as well. So you can check that out on my website at heyallisonlee.com. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye. Thanks for listening.
Hey, thanks for listening to the show. I appreciate you being here. Just as a reminder, all information on this is intended to be informational and educational only. Although I am a licensed therapist, I am not your therapist. If you are looking for any medical or mental health services, please reach out to providers local to your area and seek out information that is specific for you. This information is not intended to replace any medical or mental health services that you may benefit from. And I hope that you enjoyed the information that was provided on the show today, and I'll see you on the next episode.